And hello once again. This is Gerald Glassford from Pop Culture Cosmos and Game Source, welcoming you to another episode of Pop Culture Cosmos. And I'm here with my good friend, the author, the author of Vendetta Dark, which you can get as a Christmas gift, Center Space as well, and the upcoming Congratulations You Suck, the director of Ghost Toasters. His name is Josh Peterson. How are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for having me. Sorry about the dogs in the background.
Hey, I'm telling you, they love you so much, the dogs come barking. Who let the dogs out? Hoop, hoop. Anyways, as Josh just, goes over in his chair over that, I want to thank everyone for watching and want to thank everyone for listening right here, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on the Podcast Radio Network, plus also our good friends at the Tangent Bound Network, the ESO Network. We are available on all three of those awesome networks, and we truly appreciate you listening on either one of those. Once again, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on the Podcast Radio Network, Tangent Bound Network, ESO Network. We're also available on Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, podcast.com. We've got channels on each and every one of those outlets. And of course, if you miss anything that we're doing in the Pop Culture Cosmos, you can check it out at popculturecosmos.wordpress.com. So it is that time, everyone. We're really in knee deep in it. We've been investigating, we've been looking, we've been delving deep into the Black Friday ads. And we've been just scouring them right and left. And I'm telling you what, there's a lot of great deals out there. If you get a chance, check out our site, popculturecosmos.wordpress.com, where we have a lot of retailers' Black Friday ads that are now up on the actual site right now, and more will be added in the coming days before Black Friday. So check it out. That's popculturecosmos.wordpress.com. Josh, I know you have been scouring back and forth all of the Black Friday ads. You've been, staying up late at night, just checking that out. What are your some thoughts on overall, first off, on how good a Black Friday this is going to be for shoppers out there?
I think it's pretty good from what I've seen. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are looking at it and being like, "Yeah, there's nothing special," but they'll go out and still unexpectedly spend $300 or $400. That's just how Black Friday works.
I'm one of those people. So you've just described me in detail. But, well, I'll have to probably hawk something in order to do it. But okay, oh well. There's some really, really good deals, that we want to focus on. I have, and you have made a list of some of our top deals that we're looking forward to this holiday season from, major retailers out there, from Sears, Best Buy, Walmart, Target, JCPenney, Dell, GameStop, all these places where pop culture fans can look towards to some of the things they are interested in. So you've been investigating your thoughts on exactly what are the best deals, in your opinion, for this Black Friday.
All right, well, I'm going to start with Walmart here. First of all, I think Walmart gets kind of an unfair stigma when it comes to people shopping there on Black Friday. They're like, "Oh, Walmart's where white trash shops." Meanwhile, I'm almost filling up 3 carts there. But anyways, for movies, I'm picking Walmart because they have some good titles. $5 will get you. You can get Furious 7, Jurassic World, Lego Movie, The Martian. There's some other titles that they have there that aren't listed. But as far as movies goes, I think that Walmart's kind of the place to go. I mean, Target and Best Buy kind of have the same deals, but it's Walmart has, I think, a bigger selection. And they, if you are one of the few people that enjoyed Ghostbusters, you can get it for $10.
And that's the Blu-rays, correct? And not necessarily the DVDs. There's good deals for DVDs out there that for even less, but the Blu-rays, $5 deals you were talking about were for Blu-rays, correct?
Correct. Who do people still buy DVDs? It's like VHS now, right?
Not entirely. There's still obviously a demand for it because not everybody still has a Blu-ray player if it's not a PlayStation 4 or if it's not an Xbox One. But it's good to know that there are some great deals on Blu-ray. As in 5 years from now, it'll be 4K Blu-ray, which for the first time is now really being advertised. This Black Friday is the first time I've really seen any advertisements out on 4K Blu-ray deals. So in the future, you could see that Blu-rays will be, you'll make that comment, who shops for Blu-rays anymore? But your thoughts now on 4K Blu-rays, is it something that people should get into now or maybe hold off until there's a larger selection?
I mean, no doubt it's the wave of the future. On a side note, I was one of the misled people who decided that HD DVD was going to beat out Blu-ray, so it was tough getting rid of 100 of those things. But 4K, it really, like, people should get on it because it is. I mean, technology moves so fast. There's going to be bigger and better things soon, but 4K is, if you're one of those people who has to stay up to date on everything and you can really notice the picture on a 4K television. So if you're one of those people who likes that, then 4K is definitely the way to go. And I would jump on it now while they're on sale. I wouldn't buy anything that's not on sale because you're going to end up paying like $40 a movie.
And that also includes, if for movies and whatnot, make sure you also check out Amazon.com, not only for the fact that you may be able to get just as good, if not better deals from there for your movies, but most retailers, including the big boys, will actually honor and match prices to Amazon.com from the actual Amazon.com and not one of their affiliate dealers, correct?
Yeah, and that's probably why Amazon has not yet released their Black Friday ad.
Fair enough indeed. Fair enough indeed. It is a good point that's made up because there's a lot of people seem to forget. They're always worried about the big picture and getting the big products. Sometimes it's actually the smaller products that are great gift giving gifts, as far as also things that you might want to add and stock up for your collection. So it makes a really big difference when you can get those at a much cheaper price, because as you said, when you go to Walmart or you go to Best Buy or you go to Target, that cart fills up on the Black Friday shopping season. Any thoughts on any others that you had? Because I know you had a few in mind as far as some of the best deals for Black Friday in your opinion.
Yeah, and when it comes to buying things that entertain us, we are all bargain hunters. My next choice is Target is selling a DJI drone for $400. So you're saving $100 on something that records in 4K, does full 1080p, does 60 frames per second. It's actually, for something that they would sell at Target, like, it's fairly professional, and I'm definitely thinking about investing in one. And let's talk about video games here. I think that Toys R Us has the best deal on video games because a lot of the new stuff that they have at like Target and Best Buy, it's on sale, yeah, but I've already purchased it. So Toys R Us has a lot of the stuff I've been on the fence about. So like BioShock, you can get the BioShock Remastered Collection for $20 off, as well as if you want NHL, NBA, any of the new sports games, they're all $10 off. You get Titanfall 2, Dark Souls 3, Metal Gear Solid 5, XCOM 2. They have a more awkward variety of games, but for a lot of people who were on the fence about buying them in the first place, it might be a good place to check out.
Did you say they were also doing a buy one, get something else deal like they've done in the past?
Yeah, you buy one, you get one 50% off. That's going on now, though. I don't know if that's going to extend into Black Friday.
Fair enough. I think it's a good deal indeed, because as gamers like we are, we're very interested in keeping up to date on the latest deals for the video game holiday season. Any other things that you were looking for during the Black Friday season, as far as some of the deals and some of the highlights of the season that you're looking at for the next couple days as the Black Friday season rolls forward?
Yes, Best Buy's televisions, like we were talking about earlier, the 4K. If you have been on the fence about it and you don't want to spend, $2,000, they actually, most of their TVs are $300 or $400 off. So I'm tempted to go out and buy one myself. But if you're one of those people who, any amount of money off is something worth spending, that's definitely the place you want to go for a television.
Definitely. Although if you're interested in a higher quality television, I mean, obviously there's budgetary considerations to be wary of when you're talking about televisions and people going into that. Yes, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, they all have televisions under $400, either 1080 or 4K, that may or may not deliver a quality or great picture with great latency, things of that nature. So people need to investigate and target, if you're going on a budget crunch, for those under $400 televisions, and take a look and make sure that you're buying something that you're going to be happy with, even if it's just as a gift, that it's actually, something fairly decent. Yes, Walmart does have an eye-opening 55 4K television. It's not high dynamic range, but it may provide a decent picture for those who are just looking for a solid television viewing experience. Anything else that you've seen as far as from the Black Friday sales ads, some of them, of course, on popculturecosmos.wordpress.com, that you've been able to investigate and search?
I've looked at Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and Toys R Us, but that's about the extent. I looked a little bit at Fry's, but their thing is really jumbled and confusing. So I guess we'll have to wait until they actually release that to find out what's going on there. And I'm anxious to see Amazon's ad too.
Amazon's definitely, indeed, when Amazon presents as far as what some of its gold box deals. I know as well, Fry's, a major electronics retailer here on the West Coast. I know they're available in California, Arizona, Nevada. Here in Nevada, in Las Vegas, we have one. So I know that they do a lot when it comes to trying to match up with those big boys, those nationwide retailers. Their ad is very comparable. So if that ad breaks, we're going to break it on as best we can on popculturecosmos.wordpress.com. As soon as it gets live on the internet, we'll be able to post it and make sure that you get a chance to check it out as well, along with many others that we're looking forward to presenting to each and every one of you out there. Any others stick out in your mind? Is there's some others? Maybe some phones. I know the Fitbits, as we've talked about before. The Fitbits, as far as the wrist monitors, as far as for exercising and health maintenance, and also their competitors. I know Fitbit has become a leader in that industry. Some of the smartwatches as well, Samsung and Apple, they also do that as well. But I know the Fitbit watches are going to be pretty unanimously across the board on sale at dramatically reduced prices. So if you're interested in one of those health monitors, I know that's something to look at. But is there anything else that might have stuck out to you as far as it's concerned? Maybe that's a little bit off the beaten path.
I mean, it's not stuff that I really look at when I go shopping, but I mean, as for like the Fitbits, I'm one of those people who stopped playing Wii the moment I started sweating. The I don't know how else to say that. I just look at DVDs, games. That's what I look for on Black Friday. There's not really much else that I would go shopping for.
Okay, that's no problem indeed. I know that something else that may be talked about is computer equipment, whether it's Office Depot, Best Buy, or Dell, or what have you. I know there's some computer equipment. If you're looking for a low cost second or primary printer that's network capable, I've seen them as low as $19 out there on the internet. Be wary of A, quality, but if you only need basic quality, B, beware of the cartridge price. So make sure, if you are looking at, let's say, the Best Buy or the Walmarts that are in the low 20s to under 20s that they're offering, look up the cost of the actual cartridges themselves, replacements, how many average pages that gets printed out, something you may want to look out there as well. Anything else that you've been keeping an eye on, so to speak, or are you just focusing on just a few particular items? Because I know, like you said, you spend a great deal of time looking at all these. Just wanted to make sure that we ran down everything on your list for this, that people need to be made aware of for this Black Friday season.
I do have one more thing to add. Best Buy is selling their 21-inch iMacs for $200 off, and I know that those are, as a Mac owner myself, those are incredibly expensive, and $200 off is quite a good deal.
It is indeed, especially because they do have MAP pricing and they don't go on sale very often. I know that's something that's definitely eye-opening when Macs go on sale. Period. So if they're on sale at Best Buy at $200 off, I can imagine that the Apple Store and every other Apple retailer will be doing it as well. Correct?
Correct. And
So
I'm
that's
sure if you buy it from Apple, they probably have some deals that go beyond that too.
okay. So definitely look out for that if you're interested in buying a Macintosh. I know I sound old when I say that, a Macintosh, but when when you buy an Apple, excuse me. So I didn't want to date myself too much, but
At least
what?
you didn't say Oregon Trail is on sale.
Yes, that's true. That's true. But I could have either that or Pirates. Or anyways, need I digress? But some of the titles and some of the actual, I'm sorry, some of the actual things that I've been looking at, I've looked at extensively with the Black Friday ads as well. Again, from our site, popculturecosmos.wordpress.com, courtesy of all the Black Friday sites out there, blackfriday.net, beef ads, blackfriday.com, what have you. But when I'm looking at it, I see I've got a list of the top 5 Black Friday sales that I think people need to be more made aware of. And they're not all the low price leaders. They're not all the doorbusters. They're some of them are actually decent things to look at. Some of them are really, really good products that they're on reduction that people need to be made aware of. And if you have a little bit extra money, instead of just going and targeting the lower end items, maybe this is something you might want to take a look at. But first off, my honorable mention for Black Friday, I think has to go to, as far as if you're still interested in the Toys of Life, even though for me and my household, it's a kind of disappointment right now because of the fact that Disney Infinity is no more. Well, if you can find Disney Infinity these days, just look at all the major retailers to see that, because some of the, like Best Buy, for instance, some of the characters are as low as 49 cents online and whatnot at major retailers. So, if you can still find them out there, you may be able to get an incredible price on it. But since, Disney Infinity is no more as a continuing entity, if you are still interested in the Toys of Life, definitely something you want to look at is both Lego Dimensions and the Skylanders. Latest entry in the Skylander series are both discounted as far as the starters kit's concerned. In most cases, under $40 from a bevy of retailers. So definitely want to take a look at that. Plus, also Best Buy, GameStop, and others are also doing additional sales on the actual additional sets for either Lego Dimensions, if you're looking for add-ons and whatnot, or Skylanders, extra Skylanders. A lot of them are doing deals as well. So if you're interested in the Toys of Life genre and you want to check out Lego Dimensions and Skylanders, if you're shopping for that as a holiday gift or for yourself, want to take a look at that from a bevy of retailers. But I'd start off with Best Buy, Walmart, and GameStop first when you're looking at deals for those entities. So number 5 on our list, on my list of on my list of Black Friday sales, let's start off with Best Buy. They seem to, that seems to be a reoccurring theme from both you and I. That's that we like what Best Buy has to offer, not just because they're doing, they have their doorbusters and whatnot, but they have some solid pricing on a lot of different things that are available for consumers. Number 5, I just want to hit with Best Buy. They're doing probably the best deal on the PlayStation 4. I know Target and Walmart are doing great deals. I know that GameStop is doing an extra game if you buy a PlayStation 4. And we're talking about the PlayStation 4 Uncharted 4 bundle, which is going to be across the board at all the retailers. It's a basic PlayStation 4 500 gig with Uncharted 4, which is one of our picks, as we stated in our last podcast, a very high contender for Game of the Year. That is available at $249. Well, going to tell you 249.99. I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you right now. There's some particular places to look at because GameStop is offering one game on top of that, either Ratchet and Clank or The Last of Us Remastered. PlayStation 4 tops it one even better in that it does. It's going both those titles. Last of Us Remastered and Ratchet and Clank, along with Uncharted 4 and the PlayStation 4 for $249.99. So that may be somewhere, if you have not gotten a PlayStation 4 yet, that may be the best place to get it right now. I know PlayStation 4 is also going to be available at, I believe, Walmart with an additional gift card as well. So you can go through there as well, and try that. But that's only a $30 gift card if memory serves. So that's not quite the deal as getting two extra games that may be more enjoyable for the family. Although that's entirely up to you. Put that towards a regular. That's half off a regular game. So that might be a good deal indeed. Number 4, want to go with Target. They're doing a deal with the Powerbeats wireless earphones. That's going to be $89.99. It's $110 off the MSRP. So if you're looking for wireless earphones, take a look at the Powerbeats. Yes, it has the Beats name and whatnot, and that's all well and good. And it seems like every time around this year that for Black Friday, at least in the past couple of years, Beats has been a hot name to discount. But this actually for wireless earphones, $89.99 seems to be a really good deal for that. So you want to take a look for that as well. Number 3 is Best Buy. Now, I was thinking as far as Best Buy is concerned, yes, you could go the $400 as far as they have a really solid TV that Josh and I had talked about as well for $400. That really seemed to be $479. Excuse me, $479 for a 55-inch 4K Ultra HD TV. Very, very good. Samsung, not too shabby at all. That might be a place you want to look at. If you're looking a little bit larger, I will tell you that they have for $999 Vizio 70-inch 4K Ultra HD, just a really high end unit. That's I think $400 off. That's at $999.99. So you definitely want to take a look at that, especially if you're into a larger screen than just a 55 or a 60. That seems to be the going price all over the place. So that's something you may want to look at as well. So that's a Vizio 70-inch Ultra HD 4K TV. That's $999.99. Number 2 for us is going to be it's Best Buy and Dell, because they're both doing the same deal on the Inspiron laptop. So if you're interested in getting a laptop, although they are doing a great price on the Surface Pro at $400 off. So you want to take a look at that at $599.99. But if that's a little bit too much for you on a laptop, then I suggest probably leaning towards a decent quality laptop like the Inspiron, the 15-inch. This one, I think it's 15.6 as far as the screen size is concerned. It's the Inspiron 330, I think, as far as the 3000. I'm sorry. So it is 8 gigs of memory, which is pretty solid. And for a laptop, this is going to be really good. A 1 terabyte of hard drive space, which I think is really important, especially if you're out there and you're using the laptop for everything out there when you're going from, when you're at the Starbucks, you're at the airport, what have you. Really want to take a look at an 8 gig one memory, 1 terabyte hard drive deal. And it's got an i5, which is a pretty solid core processor for a laptop. take a look at it. It's $349.99 at both Best Buy and also as well going $349.99 at Dell. And I will also say it is a touch screen. It's not a 2-in-1, but it is a touch screen from what I understand. So it's a something if you like that enamored with the going on and touching the screen and whatnot. $349.99 is a good solid deal for a laptop with a decent size, decent speed, 1 terabyte of hard drive space. That's not too shabby. $349.99. I know. I know. Josh has already taken a look at the latest with all the video games, so I won't go into that too much there. But I do want to go before we go number one. Just want to say, everybody out there, please make sure you investigate the deals and not just what we're having to say, but take a look into depth from popculturecosmos.wordpress.com or any of the other Black Friday sites before you make the decision on what to shop for this holiday season. But my number one choice for the best deal out there, and I think I mentioned this to Josh already, it is the Xbox One S at Dell for $249.99. It is the Xbox One S. Remember, it streams 4K. Remember, it's also 4K Blu-ray player. It is the latest, one that's available for the Xbox One because Scorpio is not coming out for another year. So it streams 4K Blu-ray player. Everything's great on it. But also as well, you get Battlefield 1 already bundled in there because that's the major bundle for this holiday season for Xbox One is the Battlefield 1 bundle. But you also get Gears of War 4, which Josh has just given a very great rating to as far as, game of the year, and also as well, just an overall fantastic experience for him. So you get both those games, plus an extra controller, all for just $249.99. So that is probably my number one choice. That because what are the controllers? $59.99 usually normally, or $49.99 for a standard Xbox One controller. That's a pretty solid deal indeed. What are your thoughts so far on some of the things that I had brought up as far as Black Friday deals are concerned?
Hey, I agree with you. Your choices are good. I mean, I literally just looked at these ads today, so I like your choices. The Xbox One S is definitely, if you're on the fence about it, it's definitely a good time to get it.
Definitely indeed, because I know a lot of people have gotten either or PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One. So if you are looking to get the other, there's no excuses. This is a great time to get it, especially because next year, this time, Josh and I will be asking why haven't you got a Switch yet? And we'll be looking for the greatest deals on that, most likely, and the Scorpio and the PlayStation 4 Pro and all that. So if you're just looking to get a basic system right now, definitely those are the two places that you're looking for. You heard my list. If you have any questions, give us a shout out. popculturecosmos@yahoo.com, at popculturecosmos on Twitter, popculturecosmos on Facebook. So when we come back, Josh and I are going to be talking about the situation upcoming in January. That's right. We're going to flash forward into January with some sci-fi nostalgia. Who is better, Underworld versus Resident Evil? We will decide, and we will see which is the one best destined for a greater future, coming up right after the break. This is the Pop Culture Cosmos. And we're back here at Pop Culture Cosmos. This is Gerald Glassford, also from Pop Culture Cosmos and Game Source, along with my good friend Josh Peterson, author of Vendetta Dark Center Space and the director of Ghost Toasters, which you can see right now on popculturecosmos.wordpress.com. Just want to again give a great shout out to all of our good friends that help make Pop Culture Cosmos. If you've not checked out the Wine, Women, and Words podcast. You got to check it out. It's available on YouTube today. Wine, Women, and Words. The ladies do a great job discussing the literary world, what's hot and the latest, but also what genres, what things you should look for, why certain aspects of the literary world are so great. And you never know, they may have a special guest in the near future. You never know.
Who might that be?
I don't know. That could be Mr. Josh Peterson, author of Vendetta Dark and the upcoming Congratulations, You Suck, which you can pre-order hopefully this coming December right off of Amazon.com. So we want to talk about a little bit more about some of our friends, RobMcCallumFilms.com for all the latest and greatest on all of his great projects out there, RobMcCallumFilms.com. Take a look from all the stuff he's working on, from Box Art, the docuseries, to Kitty, the documentary. Also his big hit as far as already that came out in 2015, Nintendo Quest, the Nintendo Quest Power Tour DVD, and also his latest and greatest that has been released in a little bit of detail as far as being shopped around at festivals all over the world. It is Missing Mom. It has garnered numerous awards. And for more information on that, you want to check it out. All of his great projects at robmccallumfilms.com. Mario Party Wars, our good friends, Mario Party Wars on Facebook. For anything Mario Party, as far as related to that, they do tournaments. You want to check it out on Twitch. Also, as well, they do a lot of streaming events, and they are heavy into board gaming. So if you want to know more about the board gaming scene and you have a question, check them out today. Mario Party Wars on Facebook. Game Source, it all started from Game Source as far as our look at the video game world. Check it out, Game Source on Facebook and at Game Source on Twitter, where we post dozens and dozens each day of articles and things and topics related to the video game world. So you want to check that out, Game Source on Facebook and at Game Source on Twitter. And of course, once again, my good friend Josh Peterson, the author of Vendetta Dark, which you get today on Amazon.com. So I think people have seen the trailers already, at least to start off with. But if you haven't, Pop Culture Cosmos, if you scroll down on Facebook, we've actually shown from time to time and shared from time to time the actual trailers for both movies upcoming. But January, which is normally a dead month for the movie genre, is now, for the movie industry, is going to be a little bit interesting with a couple movies that are coming out. So it's going to be a battle of long-standing franchises. And the last of the Resident Evils, and I say that in quotations as I'm doing so because I'm not totally believing that it will be done. And maybe Mila Jovovich will be finished with it, but I don't think the series itself will be done. And then Underworld, which is telling people it's not exactly far from done yet. So your thoughts on both the Underworld versus the Resident Evil sagas? Have they played out the way you thought they would? Do you think there's a future that's bright for both? Or do you think it's just going to be one just still standing supreme over the other for the years to come?
Oh man, that's a tough question. Well, you know,
that's why I ask it.
We always ask the difficult questions. Yeah, it's as Resident Evil, I think they kind of reached the point where they're like, okay, you know, we're people don't really take, people kind of look at us now like the Fast and the Furious franchise, so let's go ahead and not take ourselves seriously and make a really cool movie. So if you're looking for something that doesn't exactly tell a story but has a really attractive leading actress and a lot of action, then Resident Evil, actually I can say the same thing about Underworld. That's a really tough question. So obviously, you know, I've been following both of these movies.
Excuse me for interrupting. My apologies. I say that because to me, they're both. Yes, they both branch out into different realms, but their basis on what they're created off of is fairly similar, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, it both takes place in like the you know, that sci-fi world of monsters. It's not. It's they both started. I mean, when did they both kind of came out around the same time? So Uh, Obviously, Underworld kind of is following a really dark, more serious tone than Resident Evil is. Resident Evil is kind of dragged on from the first movie had a really like serious tone to it, and then they kind of became more over the top as the movies went on. I think that Underworld is still taking itself seriously, whereas Resident Evil, they're like, okay, this might be our last movie, so let's just have fun with it. So I like them both, honestly. I don't. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not going to be waiting in line at midnight to see either of them. But I think that Underworld has stated, the creators of Underworld have stated that this will be Kate Beckinsale's last movie, and they're going to try to launch a new franchise featuring the what's that dude from Allegiant? I can't remember his name, but he was in the last Underworld movie. And then whereas Resident Evil is kind of unclear, they say this is going to be their last one, but Mia Jovovich is not going to be doing any more of the movies.
So I'm just going to say right now, this is the upcoming, the 6th entry for Resident Evil and the 5th entry for Underworld, just to give you an idea.
Correct. And I mean, the first two Underworld movies I loved. I can watch them over and over again. I was kind of upset when they kind of like they didn't really give Scott Speedman's character a proper send off. He's just unloading a boat and the boat exploded. The movies are still fun to watch. I really don't know where the story's going to go, because that's what's got me curious about both of these movies, is that Underworld is kind of using this as a launching platform for a new like generation, kind of like what Independence Day tried to do. So it's a lot of people have been trying the whole like passing the torch. Star Wars did it successfully, but with movies like this, it's really hard to know. So I'm curious to see where it's going to go.
I just have my opinion on is I think both have just gone back and forth, even during the course of those films, as far as their overlining narrative is concerned. That's made it somewhat hard to follow, especially the Resident Evil franchise, which has either strayed far away from the video games, series is concerned, or tried to do its best to narrow itself in. Just doesn't seem like they know which direction they want to stay within, as far as from a narrative from a narrative point. It's just seemingly to me that there's just at this point they're trying to go ahead and it's going to be the Mila Jovovich's last movie, and also as well you said Kate Beckinsale's last movie on both, but they're trying hard to see if they can pass the torch to both of them, whether or not they will meet the demise and there'll be declining interest and whatnot, and VOD, here we come for both of them. We'll have to wait and see. But do you see either as achieving some type of success in a rebooted fashion?
I don't, because like what modern movie, like modern storytelling is just, it's a ploy to make money. There's not really any like deep story. The like Underworld, the first two kind of had a decent story. They kind of went in depth with the characters, like the origin of the vampires. But as far as I know, Celine had killed the original vampires and she wiped out most of that coven. So I don't know where all of these other vampires are coming from. They're just like magically there. And it's the same thing with Resident Evil. They keep killing the person who was allegedly responsible for creating this virus, but in the trailer they keep showing these people who she's killed over the years. They keep coming back, and like she killed their zombies, but the zombies keep coming back. So I don't know what you would call a zombie who has risen from the grave. It seems kind of contradicting to me, but it's fun to watch. So who am I to judge a story?
who are you? Just my gosh, indeed, just the paying audience, indeed. So it's a little bit of a quandary I see for both, because I think that audiences are going to become weary of both franchises. I think that's probably partially why both are debuting in January, is because maybe the studios, even Sony, even after $1 billion has been made on the Resident Evil franchises, that I think they're even unsure of what direction the movie series will go next. I know that even if it doesn't do well, that they will most likely try to reach back into the Resident Evil universe at some point in time, because, like I said, they did make $1 billion off it. So you can't excuse that point. With Underworld, it's really hard to tell because it has not placed as high as the Resident Evil movies, but on its own, it's done fairly well. I mean, it's done in it's done, so 300-400 million dollars worth of business in and of itself as well. So you can't excuse that. So both series, I think they will try to do what they can to at least play it out for one movie after this, before giving either a break anytime soon.
Right. And do you know what probably, in my personal opinion, not just because I'm hating on it, but do you know what probably killed people's interest in vampire stories is
What's that?
Twilight. Twilight.
Twilight?
I
Yeah,
think
I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
I think people looked at Twilight became a cultural phenomenon, and then it became a cultural phenomenon to make fun of it. So therefore, people got kind of burnt out on vampires. And as cool as Underworld might be, I think that it's not going to do as well as people think it is.
Well, I think that leads to a larger question. That's something we should talk about on a future episode one day. That we'll try to, if the host and both of us can remember that. If movies like that, I think like Avatar made almost $3 billion at the box office. Seemingly does well on FX every time it's shown, but it really hasn't gained the cultural footprint, as far as from a series standpoint. And I don't see there's a lot of excitement and enthusiasm as James Cameron continues to try to build that dynasty with new pictures on the way in the Avatar series. I don't see much of an interest in that. And the same here goes with both those movies as well. I just don't see, I see the laws of diminishing returns on both those series. Like you said, a lot of it has to do with the Twilights, the Legion series, the Hunger Games, that people just get tired of series, and once they continue to play themselves out, they latch on to very few series. Obviously the Marvel movies have done well. Doctor Strange has done above expectations, I believe, and Star Wars Rogue One, I think, is still going to target over $1 billion. I think they should be happy with that. And I think that if those are series that fans are still willing to tie themselves onto, but the fans can get fickle if they're seeing a continual line of movies as far as it's concerned.
Right. And studios they kind of have that thing like where people who graduated high school still go to their high school football games years and years afterwards, and they stand there and be like, if only I could put my jersey back on and go out on the field, I would destroy everybody. Studios kind of have that obsession with
just one more play, coach. Just one more play.
Just one more. Put me in. They have that obsession with movies. So they think because a movie was successful once upon a time, or there's another movie out that was like that was successful, they can keep on pushing more and more out, and people will still continue to go see them. Now, Star Wars is doing it, but Star Wars is good. Like there's a lot. It's so rich in mythology that there's so much story to tell, and the fact that they have so many different storytellers doing it is what's working for them. But with I don't know how many, like,
and the fact that they cater not just to older audiences, but that younger audiences still get excited about it. Yes, there's a lot of people out there who just go see the movies just to go, or they don't care about Star Wars, or when they go see Star Wars, they're it's just a movie for them. But you got to admit, there's a lot of people who have interest, a vested great interest, not only that saw the movies originally, but are just growing up in this generation.
Right. And the same thing goes for the filmmakers too. Like how many directors do you see lining up to direct Underworld or Resident Evil? In fact, you can trace Lynn Wiseman back to both of those movies.
Okay, do I have to go, I just read a story in Variety regarding Josh Peterson, director of the Ghostbusters. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. As you were saying, I apologize.
I'm trying to put everyone off so they can have me direct the 12th entry in the franchise.
It's a paycheck.
It is a paycheck, but it's not. They're not doing anything new. I think that's the problem. They're not doing anything new. There's nothing cutting edge about these. There's no depth to these stories. I'm gonna go watch it because they entertain me, and the both leading ladies are not just talented, but they're fun to look at when they're killing things. But I don't see it making a whole bunch of money on box office returns.
No, I don't either as well. There is to be expected probably some diminishing returns with the series, but I think that they're both hopeful. Both studios are hopeful that both series will maintain some sort of life with both the films, so that future movies in the series going forward or reboot or whatever it is they're going to do, because they're not just going to simply just end the series on either account. I don't imagine. I think they're going to try and squeeze every little drop out of it, even if it goes to VOD. So I just, whether or not everyone likes it out there, I think the Underworld and also as well the Resident Evil series, even though they claim that they're going to be some of the last of them, especially in the Resident Evil, that they're a long way from being done, whether you like it or not. When we come back, Josh and I are going to be talking about December films and what we're looking forward to as far as some of the movies coming out this holiday season, coming up right after the break. This is the Pop Culture Cosmos. And we're back with another segment here on the Pop Culture Cosmos. My name is Gerald Glassford from Pop Culture Cosmos and Game Source, along with my good friend Josh Peterson, author of Vendetta Dark. Vendetta Dark. Also, as well, he is the author of Center Space and also the director of Ghost Toasters, which you can catch right now on popculturecosmos.wordpress.com. Well, it's actually now condensed into 2 episodes, correct?
Correct.
So I got to throw that combined episode, but it's available in all the parts, all the pieces there, the full saga, as I call it, the intense docudrama that is, okay, no, it's not, but maybe mock-you series. How about that? That's called Ghost Sisters. It's a good time. It's really entertaining.
We hunt down real fake ghosts.
There you go. That's your tag. That should be your tagline. Is we hunt down real fake ghosts. So when you start selling the merch, because merch has got to come along with that after that. There you go. That's your tag. You got to buy the rights to that one. So yes, right. Yeah, they're fair enough. Fair enough.
Right. Yeah, and I'll make posters that say at the bottom, it'll say, "Did you hear that? Something touched me."
Indeed. So we're looking forward to some great movies outside of just Ghost Toasters, by the way. We are looking for some great movies coming out in the month of December. It is actually, often December is portrayed as maybe one hit movie, and then all the rest of the movies that are coming along in December are targeting themselves for Oscar consideration. Yes, it kind of looks like that in some fashion, but there's also some really good movies that are vying for your entertainment dollar during the holiday season. I know Josh has some movies that's coming in December that he is targeting. I know there's one in particular, with Rogue One, which we can delve into a little bit, because I know we're going to get even deeper into that as the weeks go forward and as it gets closer. But what are some of the things that you're looking forward to in the movie genre this holiday season?
Well, like you said, Rogue One goes without saying. I've heard, I'm probably not going to watch this just because it's not my type of flick, but I've heard good things about Jackie with Natalie Portman, where she plays JFK's wife.
I've seen the stills from that. Yeah, I've seen the stills from that picture.
Yeah, and I've read some early reviews. I guess she does a really great job. I mean, she's a good actor if you discount the prequel trilogy to Star Wars, which isn't her fault. I think is the script writing. But she's a decent actor. I loved her in Garden State, and I think that she's a strong enough female actress to take on a character like that. Yeah.
Definitely, indeed. I think that's a good choice. What else you got on the plate?
Let's see. I'm on the fence about Office Christmas Party. It looks funny, but I have a really hard time watching those movies that don't really go anywhere. So to me, this feels like a corporate version of The Hangover, and I want to see it, but I want to wait until it comes out on demand or Blu-ray to watch it.
Redbox.
Redbox.
The reason why Redbox still exists.
Yes, for movies like that. There are two movies that I am really excited to see. I want to see The Space Between Us and Assassin's Creed. Space Between Us is it's not really a movie that I would be interested in, but just the take on that coming of age story where the kid is from space is so fascinating to me. Like it's never been done before, and that is the kind of movie that I am drawn to. And I think that Asa Butterfield is a great actor for somebody his age. He was great in Ender's Game, even though it got kind of poor reviews. And then Assassin's Creed. Am I the only one who's excited about that?
No, I think that any gamer should be interested in something like that. Although I kind of have some trepidation when concerning a series that, again, as I've said before, with other series, other movie series, and also other video game series, that doesn't seem to to maintain a continuous narrative that makes sense. I know they tried often with Desmond going back into the back to the present and going back to the past and whatnot. I just that series in itself has had some issues, but as a movie, it could be really exciting what Fassbender has up his sleeve for a great performance that could allow Assassin's Creed to be a breakout hit this holiday season. Correct?
Correct. I mean, what I like about it is that it's not based on any characters that have been created in the games yet. It's an entirely different story. It exists in the universe, but it's not they're not bound, they're not stuck inside of a box. So they have the mythology and they just made a movie out. They ran with it, a completely new story. So I'm just hoping that all the cool parts haven't been shown in the trailers.
As what happens with a lot of pictures. But you mentioned other pictures as well, correct?
Yeah, I think those are the two I'm most excited about. I saw Why Him looks okay, but am I the only one who's not a big fan of James Franco? Like he was funny. He's funny, but he kind of plays the same character in every movie he makes now.
Do you think he's better in a co-starring role when he's with dealing with Seth Rogen and the whole bunch that's connected to that, usually those type of films, than when he's doing something on his own?
Yeah, he plays a good sidekick, and the stuff that he's written, like his movies that he's written and directed, like I can't remember some of the names, but he's starred with Emma Roberts in a couple of them. I would have loved those movies if he weren't acting in them. I think he has potential as a director and writer, but I just in a serious role, I can't. I have a hard time seeing that.
I know there's one before I go to a couple picks of mine that I was looking at, but I know there was one that mentioned that's not a December movie, but something that during the holiday season a lot of people should be paying attention to, because it will probably garner a lot of Oscar consideration. And we were talking about it during the break, and you wanted to mention that now because I'm going to give you props on it for bringing it up.
Yeah, Manchester by the Sea. I've been fascinated with this movie since I first saw the trailers for it, but it's one of those movies where I hear it's like a mixture of flashbacks between past and present, and you don't really have a lot of movies that do that correctly. And the fact that it's in the hands of somebody who has won Academy Awards and Oscars, that he is the same guy that wrote and directed Gangs of New York. I think that it's and the soundtrack and just everything about the trailers makes it look really good. So I'm hoping it doesn't get a limited release. And Casey Affleck, like he was funny in Ocean's 11, but he has been in so many like B grade movies that he hasn't gotten like the credit he needs for this. So I'm really hoping that this movie will take off, and it comes out I think it's out or November 18th. It has a limited run, so I'm hoping they release it wide so more people can get their eyes on it.
Definitely, and hopefully it'll be something that will help him escape his brother's shadow for, because obviously his brother seems to garner the top movies and top acclaim for a lot of plum roles, but Casey Affleck has been a very solid actor in his own right, and this is his chance to shine. And I think it might lead to really some strong reviews. I know it has, as far as that's concerned, it's led to strong reviews, but I know it will also maybe garner some consideration for Oscar as well. Well, when it comes to pictures that I'm looking forward to, I'm actually going to start off with Passengers, because Passengers, yes, I know it's been more known for being a movie that has two of the high salaries as far as Chris Pratt and Jennifer, as far as is concerned, the two top leading actors right now as far as paychecks are concerned. So definitely when you're talking about those two actors, obviously that they've been more than worth their weight in gold. So Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt, they're basically the movie is centering around them with very little, I don't want to say interference, but very little added on by other actors. And basically, it's a situation where it's going to be possibly a very different, but possibly very good sci-fi flick. So that's something I'm definitely looking forward to indeed. I also want to mention, yes, Rogue One is something that everybody I'm sure is looking forward to. Like I said, please do not have the same expectations that you do for The Force Awakens. I think if it gets over $1 billion, I think Disney should count it as a hit, and obviously a great investment for doing those side stories within the Star Wars universe. So that's definitely something to look forward to indeed. But something you and I are also talking about during the break, Collateral Beauty, something that every now and then Will Smith likes to delve into more serious dramatic roles, and this is something that he definitely is looking into indeed, with his chance at maybe garnering more acclaim. You never know, but it's something that definitely he wants to try and portray this holiday season as far as something that may be a good drama to go into. And then Denzel Washington really is on Fences, something that you definitely want to look at. Definitely you want to look at, because obviously he has him and Viola Davis as a great team working together. But this is something that I believe he has performed the basis of this film on stage already. So it's something that he definitely is already familiar with as far as the project is concerned, and definitely probably will be giving a command performance once it hits on screen. So those are some of the movies that we're looking forward to. Any last thoughts on the movies in December?
No, I mean, I still got to catch up with the movies in November, so I still got to see Fantastic Beasts, which I heard was really good, and it's got really good reviews so far.
It does indeed. Looks to be garnering a. Well, I don't know. How do you think it will do as far as if it is targeting around a 70, $80 million weekend in its first weekend, which is maybe tracking around, as opposed to the higher dollar amounts its cousins in the Harry Potter universe? Do you still think that's a win for Warner Brothers?
Oh yeah, because I mean, a lot of people I've talked to a lot of people who have never seen the Harry Potter movies. They know a bit about it, but they went to see Fantastic Beasts and they really enjoyed the movie. So I think that it's a great chance for Warner to pick up new fans, and eventually these people who like Fantastic Beasts are probably going to go check out the Harry Potter movie. So it's kind of they might not make as much money off this first one, but if it picks up momentum, it could end up making more money than they know what to do with.
Well, they're going to have to at least make sure that the investment's been paid off, because, like you said in our last podcast, that four more in the Fantastic Beasts universe are on the way. So that's definitely something to look forward to. I know the girls at Wine, Women, and Words, the terrific job that they do on their last podcast, definitely, pointing out their love indeed. I'm glad you out there hopefully got to get a sample of it and check it out. The full version, from the sample that you got here on Pop Culture Cosmos. Check out the full version at Wine Women and Words on YouTube today. So I think that's going to do it for us. We're definitely got a lot to catch up with this holiday season. Any last thoughts on Congratulations You Suck or holiday gifts for this Black Friday season?
Yeah, I'm working really hard on Congratulations You Suck. It's at a point where it's off to I've given it to other people to read just to get back to me, my trial readers, I guess you can call them. So progress is being made and you will be able to read it soon. I just don't want you guys to think I'm one of those people who talks about writing a book and then never releases it. So
Fair enough. So they can't say, come back, hey, what about that book you promised 10 years ago?
yeah, exactly. Or like I know I love Dean Koontz, but he has this habit of starting like good book series and then saying, "Oh yeah, the next book's coming out next year," and then 10 years goes by. So I don't want to do that to people.
No, that's quite all right indeed, but you want to definitely look out for it, and we will make everyone out there very aware when Congratulations You Suck is available for pre-order this upcoming, sooner than you think, right around the corner. Congratulations You Suck. But in the meantime, check out his work, Center Space, and of course Vendetta Dark, available on Amazon.com today, and his movie, the Maku series. Definitely a great time to watch indeed. Ghost Toasters, that you can catch on popculturegospels.wordpress.com. So, so, sorry, a little bit in song there. So for Josh Peterson, this is Gerald Glassford. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you listening. Here it is a beautiful day in the well, I'm sorry, blew that one. For the pop culture cosmos, it's a beautiful day in paradise. And here's hoping you have yourself a great day.